Well, it's a very sad day for all 49er fans, football fans, and especially people who had the pleasure of knowing Dwight, because not only was he uh, a guy who made an incredible impact as a player and as a front office executive, both for the 49ers and the Cleveland Browns, but, was one of the better people that most of us have ever met. And that was reflected in the way that this last year and a half of his life played out after he was diagnosed with ALS and it became public. And you just saw so many people rally around him. Yes, because he meant a lot to them, and in many cases they had gone through, a lot of professional battles with him by their side, but also because he always made everybody around him feel special, and it was in an organic and seamless way. This is someone who I just know from personal experience. I was a young, clueless guy trying to cover the 49ers at the beginning of my journalism career. Nobody had any reason to be nice to me or help me or treat me with a whole lot of respect that I hadn't earned. And Dwight Clark was a legend who at the time was segueing into the front office. And I've written about just the way that he has always treated me. And, having gotten to spend some time with him last fall and communicating with him a lot during this journey, he never lost his sense of humor. He never lost his dignity. He never lost his grace. And, I know that many, many people, and I am just a small part of that, many, many people will be telling Dwight Clark stories for years and years, and most of them will provoke laughter and smiles. But, at a moment like this, there are a whole lot of tears.
Born in 1957, just 61 years old, Dwight Clark's wife, Kelly Clark, tweeting out from his account just a few minutes ago, "I'm heartbroken to tell you that today I lost my best friend and husband. He passed peacefully, surrounded by many of the people he loved most. I am thankful for all of Dwight's friends, teammates, and 49ers fans who have sent their love during his battle with ALS." Signed, Kelly Clark. Jerry Rice, his teammate and friend, also tweeting out today, "Love you, bro. Dwight Clark, rest in peace." Michael, you talked about covering him, how much you liked him, how great he was to you. We show the video over and over of the catch, but he was really known for so much more. He wore that fur coat to the Super Bowl parade. He sang "Back Up" for Huey Lewis. Dwight Clark was a lot more than just a football player, wasn't he?
Yeah, and he was very mindful of what a fortunate thing it was for him to be in that position, Dan. He was a guy who had a college roommate named Steve Fuller, who was a very good quarterback out of Clemson. Bill Walsh, as he was trying to build the 49ers, came down to scout Steve Fuller, and Dwight managed to get invited to the tryout as the receiver. And Bill Walsh was impressed enough to draft him in the 10th round, which, of course, doesn't exist now. Made the team, and then as Bill Walsh's offense began to mess with the rest of the NFL in a way that was rather shocking, you had receivers wide open, and Dwight Clark was kind of the poster child for that. He seemed to always be open, had an incredible knack for getting open, and was a very, very productive player. So, yes, he made the catch, which was spectacular and maybe the most significant play in modern NFL history, as it essentially marked the end of the Cowboys' run and started a dynasty for the 49ers. One of the plays that we'll watch forever. But it wasn't like he was just some guy who happened to be running across the back of the end zone. He was essentially a star at that point of his career and stayed that way. And so he had everything going for him. Just a charming, good-looking guy who had professional football success and stardom, but he never acted like it. He always acted like the guy who felt lucky to get invited to the tryout and got picked late in the draft and ended up living this Cinderella-type NFL existence.
Yeah, just 11 receptions his senior year at Clemson. And the reason he got invited to that tryout was because he was Steve Fuller's roommate at Clemson, and he actually picked up the phone when Bill Walsh called to ask about the tryout and said, hey, maybe I'll just tag along and catch those passes. Ended up getting picked 249th overall and had a tremendous career there in San Francisco, the only team he played for in the NFL.